Chamberlain, the Air Force Guy, RV extraordinaire from Beckley's Camping Center, coming to you from NuCamp RV today. And I'm going to show you how this new Cirrus truck camper, the 670 model, is built. So stay tuned for this. For any questions about this particular camper or any others, be sure if you call, if you email, if you stop by Beckley's Camping Center, you ask for the Air Force Guy. But let's get on to this video. So to start with, before you even get down to the assembly line, they have a veranda up on top here overlooking the warehouse here, their manufacturing plant. And what they're going to do up here is this is where they're going to assemble all of the smaller parts, such as all the plumbing, your electrical wiring and so forth, your walls, ceilings and so forth. And that is all done up here, and then this stuff is going to be staged or sent down below so that they go ahead and put things on in the right manner. So let me show you around up top here. So in this first area I'm going to show you here, this is where they're putting the ceiling panels, the front cap, and the walls together. So once they have the interior curved part panel sprayed with glue, they're going to set it over here, and the next thing they're going to be doing is they're getting together and doing the insulation part of it. This is going to be that's going to have the exterior part. They're going to get all that glue on it. Now, making this roof panel, or this front nose cone system, what they're going to do, as I'd mentioned, they're using this rig here, and what they do is they put it all together over here, and then they're going to go ahead and put it onto this rig. See, spraying the glue on there, get an even coating, and then they're going to put it in this rig, and that'll go ahead and mold it to the proper shape. So as you can see, this insulation is cut out, little cut out areas, and that is to make it so that when you're putting it on, see, there is the finished product. Interior wall, exterior wall, and you can see how where they had the little cuts in them so that it can form around the curve. So that is how that's done. As you can see, the decals are up here, and so while they're putting the windows in here, the lighting on the wall, they're also adding all of the decals. So that's all done right up here, and then it's going to be sent over to where the line is. So as you can see, that your side walls come in already laminated for whatever they're building, whether it be the tab, whether it be the Cirrus, whether it be the tag. So they're already put together. Now the big difference in what they have is the fact that they're using Azdel to laminate the fiberglass to, as well as Azdel for the roof panel. Benefit with Azdel over the Luan is it will not absorb water. So from there they go ahead and take the wall. Now they're going to start putting the doors on it, putting the windows, the vent covers, and some lighting, as well as you can see, the decals. That's all put together right here. And as you can see, everything is right here ready for them to install. So here's all your windows, your door panels, as well as your decals. So this is where they're putting the cabinets together for the truck camper, all the lines. So they make this all up here. All the materials are put together here. And then you're going to go ahead and they have this area here where they can just drop it down. And as you can see, this is what the assembly line looks like from up above. So you're going to have materials on either side of it, makes it very seamless to put together. Helps the process. So we're down at the beginning of the assembly line. Now what's unique about building this 670 is the fact that it is a sandwiched floor. So as you can see, this piece here, this is going to be the external piece of the floor, or the underneath, and then on the other side, what you're going to have, that is your interior floor. with all its cutouts. Now also notice how they're using the Azdale as well as the composite paneling instead of Luan. Now here's what the first station, and they're almost complete here in the first station. But what I'm talking about for the sandwich floor, as you can see, because this is where your shower pan's going to be, you need to have something where it's going to drain to. As you can see, they're using the Plex pipe in here, as well as the fittings and so forth. You can see they're putting the plumbing. You also notice that you have the Aldi system already installed here. So this is going to be up underneath your dinette booth. Very easy for you to get to. Here's your water pump. Now, something I want to share with you here, because of the fact that your shower pan's going to be here, they have a little bilge pump. What's going to happen is your shower is going to drain into this, and then this will go ahead and pump it. Once it reaches a certain level, it will pump it over to the gray tank. So that's right here in the floor. What's pretty cool about that is once they put the cover on that, it's hard to tell that there's actually a access panel to get to that bilge pump. Now, looking underneath of your camper to the forward part, this is going to be your freshwater tank, and then the next part, that's going to be your gray tank. So this is underneath of the camper. Your gray tank dump is going to be right here in the back, and I'll show you that you're able to see it right here. It has the pool as well as your low point drains over here and your freshwater tank drain. That's all going to be right there, and I'll show you. It's a little bit easier to show it to you here than it is when it's all closed up. And by the way, for those tanks, I wanted to show you those now because they actually enclose those when everything is done. So as you can see, this is where your LP bottle is going to be located. You'll have that with a door, and then right above that, that will be where your refrigerator will be. As you can see now, they're starting to put in some of the cabinetry, and they're going to some additional plumbing and so forth. Now you can see they have a little weight on that. This is where your shower pan is. So what they do is they go ahead and glue the shower pan down. That way there it'll stay in place. It's kind of a unique setup. You're gonna have a little heat vent or your heat radiator here, as well as up, it's gonna be on either side of the bed. So you see they have the floor panel for where the bed's gonna be. And now you can start seeing how they're covering up your water pump. Battery's going to be down in this area here, but you can see how accessible it's going to be for you to get to the Aldi system for your battery, shut off, and so forth. So that's all going to be right up in this area. Okay, just giving you the other look here. So as you can see up top there, they have the cabinets that are ready to come down. They're going to start getting ready to put those in, and then they're also going to be grabbing the sidewall from up on top there, bringing it down, and they'll be able to install it on here. Now right now, because of the fact that they don't have it put together, they've got to support that front part to keep it from falling over. Okay, so now we have the sidewalls put on, and we're going to have the cabinets attached to the interior. So starting to come together. You have a little storage bin right here. Now, the cool thing with this is your little storage bin here. You have a little bit of storage, but this is also where your battery disconnect is, as well as your brains for the for your jack system, and of course your override and your breakers for the jacks. That's all going to be right inside here. Kind of harder to show you this once they get everything put back together. Okay, so right here you see this one tube coming up right here, and it's sitting here. That is because what they're going to be sitting there is, that's going to be the fluid for your Aldi system. It's going to be sitting right there, and that's where you'll be able to fill it. It'll be inside this cabinet door. Now you can see they have the shower panels put in place. This gives you an idea of why you don't necessarily need to seal inside here. You don't need to seal this panel inside, because as you can see, it is lipping over top of the shower pan. And so there will be a little bit of movement, so you don't necessarily need to seal that. It'll create more issues than it will solve problems. So now everything's coming together. This gives you a little bit better feel for what this shower bathroom is going to look like, because they're going to have those doors that close in these tracks that they have in the floor. You see it's a one-piece wall that just sits right over the shower pan. You see they're going to get all the wiring and so forth put in here properly. Make sure they get it. Your breaker panel, everything will be right here. And of course on either side of the bed you're going to have your little storage. Have lights, your power up on top. Everything will be right up there. So one thing you're going to see as we move along, of course, the cassette potty is going to go right here, and then over here you're going to have a little ledge for you to put like shampoo and so forth. They have deleted the sink for the shower as a way to cut down a little weight and give you a little bit more room. Also, you're going to kind of like the way the door is actually working on that shower, and we'll get to that. Somewhat of a slight change to the prototype that you guys saw is notice how they have your panel back there kind of angled instead of being sitting back straight flush at the wall. Makes it look a little neater and easier to utilize. And then look at your nice counter space you have there. And then so you can get a better idea of what that shower toilet area looks like. Just give you another vantage point. And this is where your refrigerator is going to go. You see it has a refrigerator vents on the wall for the outside. So as we keep moving down the line, obviously this is where they're going to start putting the outside lighting in, outside stereo speakers. And of course you can see that they're getting more and more done on the inside. Okay, so once you have both walls on here and attached, then you're going to be able to go ahead and take out that support mechanism, and we'll be able to, at that point, install in the jacks, making sure that they're working properly. Got the front two, and then you're going to be putting two on the back. Of course, on this side, this is the opposite side. Of course, now we got some windows on here. We're getting some piping put in. This is where you're going to be able to fill your fresh water here or hook up with water, as well as electric and so forth. Be showing you that here momentarily. And then of course, as I had mentioned, as far as for your LP bottle, that's going to go right in this location in here. It attaches quite nicely. See, they have all the hoses in place for you. So in the bed area, just kind of give you an idea of what's behind the paneling of where your headboard is. On the one side, you're going to have 110 and 12 volt. And then the opposite side, you're just going to have the 12 volt. So there, as you can see, you have the 110 power, 12 volt, and then of course a light switch. And the same thing on the, well, not the same thing, but you have a light switch, 12 volt plugs on your opposite side. Now, I'll tell you, they really thought this through, ladies and gentlemen, is that they actually have a light. This is actually a light here, so that when you get to your campsite and you're hooking up, you're actually able to see a little bit. You have a little bit of light for this side, because you're going to have, of course, your 110 power. You're going to have your water connection, cable connection, as well as back through this door here. This is where your sewer connection would be. So you could reach through that door, or you could reach up underneath. Okay, so once they get the front jacks put on, then they're going to get the back wall put on, and then put the rear jacks on, as you can see. Next, as they move down the line, now they're going to be putting the weather stripping in all the molding, and then of course putting the decals on the rear wall. Get it in all tidied up. As you can see, you have the roof on here. I'll just give you another vantage point, taking a look at as it's coming down the row here and as it's going together. So from here, they're going to get that rear wall put on, put the two jacks on it, the rear jacks. Now they're going to move it over here, and this is where they're going to have, because you can see now we can walk around up here. They're able to put the air conditioner in, get all the roof panel put on, weather stripping. As you can see on this side, they have the weather strip all the way down the edge, and they're working to bring it up on the other side. Now this roof panel, you do have a walkable roof on this, and as you can see, this does have a large solar panel. I'll have all the specs for this down below. As of right now, I don't have any specs, but I'll be getting those here in the near future. Air conditioner, this is something that is an option. You do not have to order one of these with an air conditioner. You don't have to get it with electric jacks. If you want to get it with manual jacks, you could do that. Those are the couple options that you have. And looking down the rest of the line, as you can see, you do have the option not to get that solar panel if you do not wish to. Now these next three are a 670, and then it goes to the 820. So they're not quite finished in the line for the 670. So you can see it moves quite nicely down the line here. You can see that they have it on a support mechanism that's in a track, and that keeps it from going offline, but they're able just to push it, get a couple people and actually push it as it moves down the line. This stripping, the weather stripping I was showing you here, as you can see, they have it on a spool sitting right here, and all they do is they pull it and then they'll cut it off as needed. But they have both black and white depending on the color that is on the camper. So as you can see, I was walking up underneath, so you're able to work it twofold. You're able to work up above while people work down below here to get things finished up. You see up in the front here, these two vents, that is for your battery. As you can see now on this particular one, they did not opt for the outside stereo speakers, but you can see you do have your Audi exhaust there. You're going to have a 110 outlet, which you did not see on the other one. It was just a hole at the time. And of course the lights. There's still one last item they need to put up here, and I'll show you what that is here momentarily. So now once they come from underneath here, now they're going to be putting additional items on here. Something else you can choose to get for this is you can get this, you can get it pre-wired for a Voyager rear observation camera, or you can go ahead and have it opted with the camera in place for you. So this is the back side now that that wall is put on and all of your decals. Looking on the inside, as you can see now, they're getting the wires tucked back nice and neat, back behind the paneling here. You see the dinette booth. This is where it's all going to be for your dinette booth. See the wiring's coming up through here. As we had shown for you, you had the vent for your battery, which was right out front there on the two different vents, one from the bottom, one from the top. Your Aldi system control is right there. That's for your water temperature. And as you can see, the bed. Now things are, see how they have the lines coming across for your Aldi system for the heat. It's mounted up underneath on either side. You've got the nice overhead window, and of course this is going to be your vent up in the roof. So I know this was asked before, and this is something that was not pointed out to me because it was a prototype, but this is a cassette potty. So it makes it kind of nice, makes it a little bit easier for those of you that maybe are doing dry camping. That way there you can take that out and take it with you if need be, if you're just going to drop it off. Notice you have an outside shower as well as the inside shower. Now of course now you can see the refrigerator is in on this one. So now everything, the connections are going to be right outside here. And the really cool thing is in here, this is where you're going to be, have your water tank fill, your water hookup, and then this is a switch which turns on this light. So you see there's a green light there that shows you that. So that would kind of light up this area, give you enough if you did get somewhere and it was dark. Now, just to show you underneath as well, because they're going to be going ahead and enclosing this underbelly, but then you can see where that double floor is. Remember I showed you where your black tank was, as well as your freshwater tank. And then here are some hoses here. You see now they just took off the panel. That's where the bilge pump's going to be put back on. But you do see that you do have a Aldi system register, heat register down here, which is going to keep your underneath here heated and enclosed. So now you see the rear door is put on, and I'm sure that some of you probably have seen this door before. Same door that you see on the Tab 400. So as you're coming in here, this is where you could see this is where you have a heat vent coming in here, but that's also heating the underbelly. Looking inside, this is also going to be a heat duct, so there's another, if you recall at the beginning, that's where one of the radiators were. And there's the access panel for you to get down to the bilge pump. Now I showed you that the bilge pump, there's the bilge pump, that's what it looks like, and that'll be put back down under there, be put in place. So just looking at what you have up here, you can see how they have the little cubbies for next to the bed on either side. Stereo speakers, you see that panel is finished off up there. And of course you can see the air conditioner is getting ready to be put together there. If you do not get the air conditioner, then of course you will have a vent there. So you see you're going to have, there's a queen mattress, but then they're using the Froley system underneath to make it more comfortable. They still got to be put in place there, but that's what you're looking at there. And of course you can see what they've done with the ceiling. They've got that nice little panel. Notice how it's up. It's kind of coming down off of the ceiling to give you that ambient light. Now for the table, you're going to have the Lagoon table, which is nice. That way there you can get it out of the way if you want to. And of course, make this a bed if need be as well. Now another change that they made is on this door system for your bathroom. It's all one piece, and so what's going to happen is it's just going to move one direction or the other for you to be able to get into that bathroom. So something a little bit different than it was in the prototype is that door kind of had it separated. It was two different doors. Now they've made it where it's just one. So you're able just to push it around and it'll come around like such, making it a little bit easier for you. Because all you're going to do is you're going to walk in here, you step in the shower. So looking inside, as you can see, you have your toilet, and of course your shower system right there. And that's all going to be draining right down below. So it makes it much more functional for you. This is the cassette toilet. Got a little shelf here so you can put your shampoos and so forth. Here's your light switch, as well as the 110 outlet. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 670 Cirrus truck camper by NuCamp. Now, something else they're working on here. Now this particular one, it's going to come in, dry weight's going to be somewhere in the mid 1,600 pound range. They are working on one, so stay tuned. They're working on one that's going to fit the half-ton with the 5.5 foot bed. So stay tuned for that. As they finish these, I will be back again to actually do a walk around on the new Cirrus 670. So stay tuned for that. Looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed it. For more information on this camper or any others, be sure if you call, if you email, or if you stop by Beckley's Camping Center in Thurmont, Maryland, you do ask for the Air Force guy. Appreciate you watching, and we'll come back at you again soon. Take care.